You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Anyone buy that? The mess now suspects Trump's bizarre Qatari jet answer was a cover story based on an article by Daniel Hampton. Trump's jet Detour is the power story, not a travel story. The real subject, the reported issue, is not whether Trump took the Qatari-gifted jet home from the NATO summit in Turkey. The issue is how a president can turn a foreign-gifted aircraft, another round of taxpayer retrofit spending, and a vague public explanation into a spectacle that demands everyone else do the interpreting. Trump hyped the plane for weeks, then abruptly sent it to a base in England for troops to inspect while he flew home on the old Air Force One. When pressed, he did not answer the question directly. That is the key fact. Everything else is smoke. Power speaks in evasion. Who holds the power here is obvious. Trump does. He controls the explanation, the timing, the symbolism, and the official silence around the switch. The press can ask, he can dodge. The panel can speculate. He still gets to decide what the story becomes. That is why the frame matters. A weaker account would treat this as a messy communications issue. It is not messy. It is deliberate ambiguity from someone who understands that if you keep the motive murky, you keep accountability delayed. Security talk is cover. Trump sidestepped questions about whether the change was tied to security fears involving Iran, and instead talked up the danger of the presidency and his place on Iran's kill list. That is classic misdirection. Replace a concrete question about aircraft security with a theatrical account of personal peril. Leland Panetta called it what it looks like, a cover story. Peter Baker added the obvious technical point that the hastily retrofitted jet may not have the missile and electromagnetic pulse protections of a standard Air Force One. Those are not trivial details. They are the actual substance the story keeps circling around but never cleanly lands on. The public pays twice. There is a rotten simplicity to this arrangement. Qatar gives the plane. The American taxpayer pays at least another $400 million to retrofit it. Then the administration turns the plane into a political prop, shuttles it around, and asks the public to accept a story that does not actually explain why the aircraft was not used as planned. This is how elite gifting works in a degraded political system. The symbol is free. The cleanup is public. And the risk is downstream. The gift is never just a gift. It is a way of laundering power through spectacle while everyone else covers the bill. Misdirection by design. The weakest part of the reporting frame is the suggestion that the central question is whether the explanation is convincing. It is not. The central question is why a president needs a cover story at all. Once that is clear, the pattern is familiar. Deliberate actions are presented as improvisation. Security concerns are wrapped in ego. A state object is turned into a personal stage set. The result is not confusion. It is managed confusion, which is often how power protects itself when it knows the details do not hold up. The pattern. This is what democratic decay looks like in miniature. Institutional money spent to retrofit a luxury symbol. Public attention redirected toward the president's wounded grandeur, and the actual security and governance questions pushed into the background. Trump does not need the public to believe a precise lie. He only needs enough noise to make precision feel impossible. That is the larger political lesson. Authoritarian politics does not always arrive with open force. Sometimes it arrives as an explanation that does not explain. A spectacle that consumes scrutiny, and a bill sent to everyone else. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article with the automated voice of Kristen. Thanks for listening.